So Master P was recently on the Breakfast Club. He had an interview and he was talking about his upcoming movie, I Got the Hookup Too, as well as in financial empowerment for people of this generation, in particular, those who have like side hustles or those who aspire to be business owners. And I thought he said it best. And that's what we're going to talk about for the next few minutes right here on the Young Business Profits YouTube channel. Make sure before we get into it, you go by the website, youngbusinessprofits.com. Got a page on there for motivation when you feel stuck. Just some motivating words I try to send out once a week. We also have a posting of our videos, those that we do right here on the YouTube channel. And we also have a link to our Young Business Profits podcast. What is it? We are actually a website and a podcast that I developed to help young people to make money, save money, and be more productive. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Let's get to it. So Master P, straight out of New Orleans, you know how he gets down. He's been in the rap game, the music industry for a number of years. He brought up his son, Romeo Miller, and we've seen him all on Nickelodeon growing up. And so he was a USC student. Now he's making movies, doing his own thing. And again, Master P was on the Breakfast Club, and he had some very powerful statements about ownership. I think he said it best. Of course, he was there to promote his new movie, I Got the Hookup Too, which he stated would be running through AMC theaters throughout the country. It's coming out just in a few days, if not a week or so from the time of the recording of this video. But Master P has always been about self-empowerment. He talks about in his past interviews, his books, he talks about how he had an opportunity to make $1 million and he turned down the contract. His brother got upset. He was like, yo, $1 million. But P's way of thinking is like how our way of thinking needs to come when it comes to making money, profiting. He was saying, well, man, if they can pay me $1 million, what the world are they making off of me? So it was probably, based upon him, one of the best decisions that he's ever made, because he went on to get a distribution deal to make hundreds of millions of dollars. And according to him, he's poured that money back into the community, a percentage of it. He's able to help people. And so, again, he was going on really pushing his shoe line as well as his movie, I Got the Hookup Too, Magnati, his new shoes made in Italy. I think they're kind of dope. I like them. I like to buy high-end shoes, so I may consider a pair in the future. So you can check those out. I think it's magnati.com. But I just want to go over 3 things that Master P talked about. I think it's important for young people to have that same mindset when it comes to money, owning your own business, supporting your family, and so forth. So number 1, of course, he was pushing ownership. He was talking about in the video how when you own your own stuff, you own your own product, you own your own services, you don't have to beg anybody to do anything. You can do what you want, when you want, and how you want. He talked about the struggles of trying to break into particular industries, especially the movie industry. And he was talking about how sometimes, because being a black man, how a lot of doors were closed for him. But then he said he would have a white person represent him and they walk him right on through. He said, but man, when you own your stuff, you don't have to beg anybody. You can just make partnerships and make things happen. And that's what I'm about. Own your own stuff. It does not matter. I think one way young people should look at it, even when it comes to cell phones, it's amazing how now they're pushing customers to do these next plans. And so you never own the phone. You always lease it. You're paying on it, but you can never own a $800, $900 phone. If I'm going to shell out that much money, I want to own it. And so the trick is they get people to pay $25 a month for a couple of years, and then the newest best thing comes out, and you've paid for the phone or just about paid for it. Then they get you to upgrade, and then you start all over again, and you never own your own phone. So you want to own it, because if you own it, then you can turn around, make your money back, or make some of it, or make a profit. So I love the way he pushes ownership, and I like to tell young people, own your own stuff, whether it's your own video games, whether it's a lawnmower service, hair salon, something. You want to have your own ownership. And so I thought he brought out some good points in that interview. Another thing that he brought out, and I thought he said best, is when you own, you can create employment opportunities. See, some people want to just get rich to help themselves, but I believe God blesses us to be a blessing. So when you own your own stuff, you can help other people out. People that may be less fortunate, people that don't have opportunities, people that may not know because they haven't been taught or surrounded by successful people. But when you own something, then you can turn around and help somebody else. You can put somebody else on. And I think that's what it's about. Of course, you're going to have knuckleheads that try to take advantage and try to come up off of you. But man, I like helping people. And I believe when a person becomes successful, they should reach back and give back and try to help others so they can come up and repeat that process. So 2 things I think he really said best. Number 1, ownership. Number 2, employment opportunities for others. And finally, increased profits. When you own something, when something is yours and you're able to sell the rights for others to use it, then you're going to get more profit from it. It's amazing how when you work for other people, you're only getting a small percentage of the major profits. And so he was going on talking about how rappers, they sign deals to where they don't hardly make any money. It's the people who they sign their rights over to, they're the ones who make all the money. And so I just love that concept. I think when a person owns something, or when you operate in this world as a young person, you should always leverage yourself, I like to say, to get the best deal. I got a friend of mine, he owns his own car dealership, and he had been in and out of jail, but he knew how to talk and he liked to help people, and he ended up getting into the car industry. And he would say, look, man, I'm going to help people, but I'm going to make sure I profit from the deal. You're going to help people, but come out on top. And so he doesn't have to share those profits with anyone. He gets the majority share of the fruit of his labor. And so that's what it's about. Wouldn't it be amazing if you worked at a fast food restaurant that you got most of the profits? It's amazing what some of these restaurants make per hour. And, the employees only get a very small percentage. If you just think of it, if you get paid $10 an hour, how long does it take for a restaurant to make that $10? Yeah, they got overhead, but just sit back and look at how many customers come through that fast food restaurant in an hour. And so because they own the restaurant, they're making it. Something you may not have known. I remember a few years back when Redbox started, they were allowing people to franchise and buy the Redbox. And when you bought it, you just paid Redbox a certain franchising fee, but you were able to keep the profits. And once they saw how profitable Redbox was, Redbox stopped doing that. They wanted all the profits. And so now no one can buy into Redbox. You can't franchise or get one of those boxes of that brand and make a lot of money from it. They decided to keep all the profits for themselves. So you want to make sure as a young person, teenager, young adult, that you find something that you can lay claim to that's yours. When you make enough money, you can help other people. And also remember, I think one thing he said best, you're going to make the most of the shares. He was talking about how in the movie industry that a lot of movie theaters wouldn't carry his new movie because they don't make a lot of money on the front end when it comes to people going to movie theaters. And so what he did, because he owned the movie, he was like, well, y'all can't get most of my profits. I can put my movie online. And so his new movie is actually online at the same time it's going to be in the theater. So he's getting money hand over fist. So he seems to be a real smart businessman, but I think it's something in there that we can learn as young men and you as young women. So that's all I got for the day, man. I think Master P said it best. Ownership, employment opportunities for others, and you get a portion or a larger portion of the increased profits. Keep that in mind. Young folks out here, you can be prosperous. You can be young and productive. You just got to go about it the right way. Make sure you go by the website, youngbusinessprofits.com. Motivation, the podcast, everything you need right there. And I appreciate you listening. I'll catch you next time. God bless you.